Right then, this is a quick walk around video, hopefully before the rain comes, for a wonderful Lexus. This is an RX 450 SEI. Car's covered just 42,000 miles. Panoramic roof, lovely oaken beige interior, incredible service history attached to the car, and in simply beautiful condition. Front of the car, lights and lenses, you can see there, clear and intact without any cracks or condensation even in them. Bonnet, very clean indeed, no obvious stone chips in there that I can see. Near side, beautifully smooth in the panels. So this is going to be a bit quicker than normal, only because it is got very dark all of a sudden, and I fear the rain's going to start. But it is a very clean car. Back, lovely and clean in the panels. Can't see any obvious stone indentations there at all. Kept absolutely beautifully. I mean, there will be the odd tiny little mark, but you know, for a car that's now 12 years old, it really is quite exceptional. Coming to the boot area, it's been kept absolutely beautifully. Coming to the back of the car now, it's absolutely gorgeous interior. The leatherwork in the back in here is absolutely exceptional. Coming in the passenger side now, and all really nice. Again, leatherwork really good. Only you get a tiny bit of weathering where the bottom of your legs go there, but compared to most of this vintage, this one's in absolutely stunning condition. And finally on the driver's side, again, door card lovely and clean. With the footwell area, driver's seat again is in super condition for the age. So inside the car now, engine's running as always, so the dash can be seen illuminated. Dashboard looks absolutely pristine. Sat nav, you can see working absolutely perfectly there. Put the car into reverse. A lovely clear gridded parking camera, all working exactly as it should. Where it's been kept simply beautifully. Go to the main dash binnacle. Hopefully you can see in there 42,054 miles, and there are no warning lights on the dashboard at all. Finally, just to show you, owner's manual pack and lock and wheel nut key all here and present with the car. Right then, this is a quick road test video, and this is for a really lovely car. This is a Lexus RX 450 SEI. Car's registered DA11MPZ with a mileage of just 42,055 recorded. The reason we do all of our videos, and as I always say, especially actually this road test section, is to ensure that if anyone's actually online looking at any of our cars, they get to see the very car advertised actually in operation. The reason we feel it's important is because, like far too many people, we've been to see cars which look absolutely fine in photographs or description, but only to get there and find out it's got an obvious fault that shows up when you drive the car. So hence that's why we do the videos. We also do it on these very quiet country roads in this beautiful part of Gloucestershire. This actually forms part of the road test route we take our customers on, in a theory being hopefully it'll be representative of what you'd feel yourself should you be offered a test drive in the car. So coming to the car, very well looked after vehicle, and it's immediately obvious as soon as you drive it, and it feels solid as a rock on the road. As always, press the power button, the car whirs into life. Those who've not driven Lexus hybrid system will be in for a really pleasant surprise. First and foremost, there are no warning lights on the dashboard at all relating to the engine or any other part of the car, so that's the important bit. But what a lovely way to kind of propel yourself. You've got a combination of the Lexus hybrid system and their 3.5 V6 engine, which is so smooth and so refined. But when you attach it to a CVT gearbox and the hybrid system, you end up with this, I refer to it as kind of almost a seamless way of delivering power. And it's extraordinary because if you jump into one of its competitors' car, worthy as it may well be, most of them will be turbo diesel in this vintage, and they will feel a bit clunky and cumbersome. especially when sort of manoeuvring, low speed, pulling away. The best auto gearboxes in the world can be slightly indecisive, but this is astonishing. And of course, being self-charging, you own and drive the car as you would a normal petrol car. There's no charging, plugging in, range anxiety. You're going to run low on fuel, stand at a pump for a couple of minutes, and be on your way again for another 400 or 500 miles, whatever happens to be. So it's painless in that respect, but just joy of joys. The driving it, first of all, the refinement is what you're bowled over by. It's so quiet in the car. But so when you hit the throttle pedal and back off, there's no kind of, make sure I don't bash that pheasant. There's no sense of any sort of gear changes, anything, because that's how it works. You come to stop now, it's just completely smooth. Go to pull away, just literally there's nothing. It's just perfect. Put your foot down, hit the V6 sort of howl, then the car catches up with it through the gearbox. Just brilliant piece of engineering. It really is astonishing. All the gears, the gearbox works in exactly the way it's meant to. There's no issues at all, not that you ever expect it on these. I've never touched one. The whole car is just beautifully engineered. Steering on the car, first and foremost, track's nice and straight. There's no vibrations at this speed or any speed up to the legal limit. But it's very well done. It's basically going to give you, these are not sports cars. It is a car that's to be caressed through corners. It's very capable. It goes through corners very well indeed. It rides elegantly. It's got a real sophistication to its ride. It's designed predominantly for comfort for you and your passengers, and it delivers that wonderfully well. But when you go through corners, you don't get huge body roll angles. You don't get kind of a lurching effect, which you can get with lots of cars of this type and size. So it does that remarkably well. Because I've owned all vintages. I've owned the 300s, 400s, and the 450s. The first two lovely cars. But you go through corners, they tend to sort of keel over a bit in an old-fashioned way. These are much better through the corners than they ever were, but not at the expense of ride comfort in any way. Also, but on the move, just listening out for any sort of clonks or rattles that shouldn't be there, and there's absolutely nothing at all. It's, as I said, solid as a rock in that sense. Just going to turn right up here. Brake pedal, by the way, absolutely fantastic. There's no pulsing or vibrations coming back through the brake pedal at all. It's all in very, very fine order there. Coming inside the car, it's just a lovely place to sit. You've got perfect driving position, multitude of adjustments you can make on there as well. The seats are incredibly comfortable, obviously heated, and that all works, been checked. But I just love this interior, this lighter interior, oak and beige I think they would call it. It's done very tastefully, but on dull, really dark, dull days like today, the combination of the leatherwork and the door panels and the lower trims with the panoramic roof just adds a kind of a brightness to the interior. You just don't get that kind of gloominess you can get with full black interiors, as nice as they are. And on the hotter summer days, you don't get that burning heat inside the car either, or the back of your legs. I always say to people, if you want to keep the interiors nice, and this one has been kept very, very nicely indeed, just keep some wet wipes and a dry cloth. So if you spill something, wet wipe it off straight away, and then use a dry cloth to dry it off. That's important. But this has been kept amazingly well. It is, of course, beautifully made, as Lexus always are. Dashboard is very, very heavily equipped, but unlike some cars we jump in, it's very simple to operate. You've got a huge sat-nav screen recessed to try and sort of eliminate as much glare as possible, all working perfectly. You've got dual zone climate control system, which pumps out different temperatures side to side if you so wish, and that throws that lovely cold air. We tried it in a nice warm workshop earlier on. It's got one of the nicer little mouse pads down here, in terms of kind of the mouse that operates the screen. Enter button on the right and left, which you use your fingers. After a couple of days, it becomes second nature very, very quickly indeed. I do like the fact that you can do things like fan speed and temperatures separate to the main screen, which is a nice touch and all the better for it. Dash in front, typical Lexus, beautiful lighting, beautiful detailing of all. It's perfection, because it's not overdone, there's not too much going on, but what they display better than anybody else, in my opinion. And you've got this lovely leather-bound steering wheel which looks and feels as new in hand. I mean, the point of these videos is simple. As I said, it's actually to pick up on any issues, and there's nothing at all. It drives sensationally well, and whoever gets this car next will be a very lucky buddy indeed.